Billionaire snatches ring from homeless girl, then breaks down when he realizes she's his daughter. Lily, a wisp of a girl with eyes that held the wisdom of a seasoned traveler, knew the concrete jungle of New York City like the back of her hand. At 9 years old, she was a veteran of its unforgiving streets, a master of its hidden corners and shadowy alleyways. Orphaned at an age when most children were still learning their ABCs, Lily had been raised by the city itself, its relentless energy and cacophony of sounds her constant companions. She wasn't your typical street urchin, begging for scraps with outstretched hands and pleading eyes. Lily possessed a quiet dignity, a resilience that defied her circumstances. Her clothes, though patched and faded, were always meticulously clean, her unruly brown curls tamed into neat braids. She carried herself with a certain grace, a subtle defiance against the harsh realities of her life. Lily had a gift, a talent that set her apart from the other children who roamed the streets. She could draw. With a piece of charcoal salvaged from a burnt-out building and a discarded cardboard box as her canvas, she transformed the gritty urban landscape into scenes of breathtaking beauty. Her drawings captured the essence of the city, its towering skyscrapers, its bustling crowds, its hidden pockets of despair and resilience. She often sat on a park bench, her charcoal dancing across the cardboard, her brow furrowed in concentration. Passers-by would stop, mesmerized by her artistry. The way she captured the light and shadow, the movement and stillness, the joy and sorrow of city life. Some would drop a few coins into her makeshift hat, their faces softened by the raw emotion conveyed in her drawings. Lily had a secret, a sanctuary amidst the chaos. Hidden beneath a crumbling overpass, she had created a haven, a small space adorned with discarded treasures she found on her daily expeditions. A faded tapestry, a cracked mirror, a collection of mismatched teacups. It was her home, her refuge, a testament to her indomitable spirit. Despite the hardships she faced, Lily retained a childlike wonder, a belief in the goodness of the world. She dreamed of a life beyond the streets, a life filled with warmth, security, and the simple joys of childhood. She clung to these dreams, her imagination a lifeline in the face of adversity. One sweltering summer afternoon, while scavenging for food in a discarded trash bag near a luxury apartment building, Lily stumbled upon a glint of gold amidst the crumpled newspapers and rotting fruit. It was a ring, an exquisite diamond ring with a swirling inscription on the band. Intrigued, Lily slipped it onto her finger, the cool metal a stark contrast to the grime that covered her skin. As Lily wandered through the city, the ring, a beacon of opulence in her world of poverty, caught the eye of a passerby. He was a distinguished older gentleman, impeccably dressed in a tailored suit, his face etched with the lines of a life lived in the upper echelons of society. He approached Lily, his eyes fixed on the ring, a flicker of recognition in their depths. "That's a beautiful ring, young lady," he said, his voice a blend of authority and curiosity. Lily, wary of strangers, especially those who exuded an air of wealth and power, instinctively clutched the ring protectively. "It's not mine," she mumbled, her eyes darting around nervously. The man chuckled softly, a sound that held a hint of amusement and understanding. "I know, but I'm curious about it. May I see it?" Lily hesitated, her instincts screaming at her to run, to disappear into the anonymity of the crowd. But something in the man's eyes, a glimmer of kindness and sincerity, held her captive. Cautiously, she held out her hand, the ring gleaming in the sunlight. The man examined the ring closely, his brow furrowed in concentration. He traced the inscription with his finger, his lips moving silently as he deciphered the elegant script. "This is no ordinary ring," he declared, his voice filled with a mixture of awe and nostalgia. "It's an heirloom, passed down through generations in my family." Lily's eyes widened, her curiosity piqued. "Your family?" she echoed, her voice barely a whisper. The man nodded, his gaze fixed on the ring, lost in memories. "Yes, my family. The inscription on the band says, 'To my dearest Amelia, with eternal love.'" Lily's heart skipped a beat. "Amelia?" she whispered, the name resonating with a strange familiarity. A distant echo from a past she couldn't remember. The man's eyes snapped up, his expression a mixture of surprise and disbelief. "Do you know someone named Amelia?" he asked, his voice laced with urgency. Lily hesitated, a flood of emotions swirling within her. A name, a face, a fleeting memory of a woman's gentle touch and loving gaze flashed through her mind. "My mom," she blurted out, her voice trembling. "Her name is Amelia." The man's face paled, his composure momentarily shattered. "Your mother?" he repeated, his voice barely audible. Lily nodded, her eyes filled with a mixture of confusion and hope. "Yes, she has a ring just like this one." The man's expression turned serious, his eyes searching Lily's face, as if trying to unravel a mystery that had haunted him for years. "Where is your mother?" he asked, his voice strained. Lily shrugged, her shoulders slumping with the weight of her unknown past. "I don't know. She left me when I was a baby." The man's eyes softened with understanding, a hint of sadness clouding his features. "I see," he said softly. "Well, I may know where to find her." He took Lily's hand, his touch gentle yet firm, and led her through the bustling streets, his steps purposeful and determined. Lily followed him, her heart pounding with a mixture of excitement and trepidation, her mind racing with questions and possibilities. They walked for what seemed like hours, the city's sights and sounds blurring into a kaleidoscope of colors and noises. Lily, accustomed to navigating the streets alone, felt a strange sense of security in the man's presence, his aura of authority and confidence a comforting shield against the city's chaos. Finally, they arrived at a grand mansion overlooking Central Park, its imposing facade a stark contrast to the gritty streets Lily knew so well. She stared up at the edifice, her mouth agape, her mind struggling to comprehend the sheer opulence of her surroundings. "This is where your mother might be," the man said, his voice barely a whisper, his eyes fixed on the mansion's imposing entrance. He led Lily inside, the opulent interior a world away from the poverty and grime she was accustomed to. They walked through marble hallways adorned with priceless artwork, the air thick with the scent of wealth and privilege. Lily, her bare feet cold on the polished floor, felt like an intruder in this world of luxury and refinement. They reached a grand library, where an elegant woman sat reading by a crackling fireplace. Her face, though etched with the lines of time and sorrow, held a timeless beauty, her eyes reflecting a deep sadness that seemed to mirror Lily's own. "Amelia?" the man called out tentatively, his voice laced with a mixture of hope and apprehension. The woman looked up, her eyes widening in recognition, a flicker of surprise and disbelief illuminating her features. "Robert?" she gasped, her voice trembling with emotion. The man rushed to her side, his eyes filled with tears, his composure momentarily forgotten. "It's me, Amelia. I found you." Amelia embraced him tightly, her tears flowing freely, her body trembling with the force of her emotions. "Oh, Robert, I thought I'd never see you again." Lily watched the reunion unfold, her heart filled with a mixture of joy and confusion. Who was this man? And how did he know her mother? The questions swirled in her mind, adding to the mystery of her own identity, her own forgotten past. As the initial shock of the reunion subsided, Amelia turned her attention to Lily, her eyes filled with a mixture of curiosity and apprehension. "And who is this little girl?" she asked, her voice gentle, her gaze lingering on Lily's face, searching for a familiarity that had been lost for years. Lily, her bare feet cold on the polished marble floor, stepped forward hesitantly, her eyes downcast, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and anticipation. "I'm Lily," she mumbled, her voice barely audible in the cavernous library. Amelia's eyes widened in surprise, her breath catching in her throat. "Lily?" she repeated, the name echoing through the room, laden with a weight of unspoken emotions. "You're my daughter?" Lily's head snapped up, her eyes meeting Amelia's, a spark of recognition igniting within her. "Your daughter?" she echoed, her voice barely a whisper, the realization dawning on her like a sunrise. Amelia nodded, tears streaming down her face, her expression a mixture of joy and sorrow. "Yes, my darling Lily. I had to leave you when you were a baby."
I had na chuige.
Lily's mind reeled, trying to process this revelation, this sudden upheaval of her reality. The woman she had always thought of as a stranger, a figment of her imagination, was her mother. The woman she had never known was the owner of this grand mansion, the wife of a wealthy businessman, a woman who lived a life of privilege and luxury, a world away from the streets Lily called home. Amelia reached out and took Lily's hand, her touch warm and comforting, a mother's touch that Lily had yearned for all her life. "I'm so sorry, Lily," she said, her voice choked with emotion. "I've missed you every day. Please forgive me." Lily, overwhelmed with emotions, could only nod silently, her tears mirroring Amelia's. Tears of joy and sorrow, tears of relief and confusion, tears of a reunion that had been a lifetime in the making. Robert, Amelia's husband, watched the scene unfold with a mixture of sadness and pride. He had known about Amelia's secret for years, the secret of her daughter she had been forced to abandon. He had supported her decision then, understanding the impossible circumstances that had led to it. But now, seeing Lily and Amelia reunited, he felt a pang of guilt for the life they had both missed, the years stolen by fate and circumstance. He stepped forward and placed a hand on Lily's shoulder, his touch gentle and reassuring. "Welcome home, Lily," he said, his voice gruff but kind, his eyes filled with a warmth that belied his stern exterior. Lily looked up at him, her eyes filled with uncertainty, her mind still grappling with the sudden shift in her reality. "Home?" she repeated, the word foreign on her tongue, a concept she had never truly grasped. Robert smiled gently, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "Yes, home," he affirmed. "This is your home now." Lily glanced around the opulent room, her eyes taking in the luxurious furnishings, the priceless artwork, the sheer opulence of her new surroundings. This was a world away from the streets she had called home for so many years, a world she had only glimpsed through the windows of passing cars, a world she had never dared to dream of. Lily's world had been turned upside down. In the space of a few hours, she had gone from a homeless orphan to the daughter of a billionaire, her life transformed in a way she could never have imagined. The streets, her familiar battleground, were suddenly replaced by a world of luxury and privilege, a world she barely understood. She was enrolled in a prestigious private school, a world of uniformed children, manicured lawns, and classrooms filled with the latest technology. Lily, accustomed to the freedom of the streets, felt suffocated by the structure and rules, the constant scrutiny of teachers and classmates. She was given a room in the mansion, a room fit for a princess, with a canopy bed, a walk-in closet overflowing with clothes, and a private bathroom. But Lily, used to sleeping under bridges and scavenging for scraps, found it difficult to adjust to such opulence. The silence of the room was deafening, the softness of the bed unsettling. Amelia, eager to make up for lost time, showered Lily with affection and material possessions. She bought her designer clothes, enrolled her in extracurricular activities, and planned lavish parties in her honor. But Lily, who had never known such extravagance, felt overwhelmed and suffocated by the constant attention. Robert, though less demonstrative in his affection, also tried to make Lily feel welcome. He took her to museums and art galleries, introduced her to influential people, and shared his knowledge of business and finance. But Lily, who had learned to trust her instincts and rely on her own resourcefulness, found it difficult to relate to his world of power and privilege. Lily struggled to reconcile her old life with her new one. She missed the freedom of the streets, the camaraderie of the other homeless children, the thrill of survival. She felt like an imposter in this world of wealth and privilege, a stranger in her own home. She began to rebel, skipping school, sneaking out at night, and returning to the streets where she felt most at home. She sought out the familiar faces, the shared understanding of those who had also known hardship and loss. Her behavior caused friction with Amelia and Robert, who worried about her safety and her future. They tried to understand her struggles, to bridge the gap between their worlds, but their efforts often backfired, their well-intentioned gestures misinterpreted as attempts to control and confine her. Lily's rebellious streak also attracted the attention of the media, who were eager to exploit the story of the billionaire's street urchin daughter. They hounded her with questions, cameras flashing, microphones thrust in her face. They painted her as a troubled teen, a spoiled brat, an ungrateful recipient of unearned privilege. Lily, already struggling with her identity and her place in the world, felt further alienated by the media scrutiny. She retreated further into herself, her anger and frustration simmering beneath the surface. While Lily grappled with her new reality, Amelia and Robert faced their own challenges. The revelation of Lily's existence had shaken the foundations of their marriage, unearthing long-buried secrets and resentments. Amelia, haunted by the guilt of abandoning her daughter, struggled to balance her newfound motherhood with the demands of her socialite lifestyle. She felt torn between her desire to protect Lily and her fear of losing the life she had built with Robert. Robert, though genuinely fond of Lily, wrestled with his own insecurities and fears. He worried about the impact Lily's presence would have on his business and his reputation. He also feared that Lily would never truly accept him as her father, that she would always resent him for the years of absence and the privileged life he represented. Their relationship, once a bastion of stability and mutual support, became strained, their conversations punctuated by silences and unspoken anxieties. They struggled to find common ground, their differing approaches to parenting and their conflicting priorities creating a chasm between them. The media frenzy surrounding Lily's story further exacerbated their problems. The constant scrutiny, the intrusive questions, the speculative articles, all served to amplify their insecurities and fuel their resentment. They found themselves caught in a whirlwind of public appearances, charity events, and media interviews, their private lives dissected and analyzed by strangers. The pressure took its toll, their relationship teetering on the brink of collapse. Amidst this turmoil, a new threat emerged. A mysterious figure from Amelia's past, a man who had been deeply involved in the circumstances surrounding Lily's birth, resurfaced, seeking to exploit the situation for his own gain. He contacted Amelia, threatening to reveal her secrets, to expose her past, and to disrupt her newfound happiness. He demanded a hefty sum of money in exchange for his silence, preying on her vulnerability and her fear of losing Lily. Amelia, terrified of the consequences, confided in Robert, who, despite his own anxieties, vowed to protect her and Lily. He hired a private investigator to uncover the man's identity and his motives, determined to neutralize the threat and safeguard his family. The investigation led them down a dark and twisted path, uncovering a web of deceit, betrayal, and long-buried secrets. They discovered that the man, a former associate of Amelia's father, had been involved in a shady business deal that had gone wrong, and he was now seeking revenge by targeting Amelia and her family. The stakes were high, the threat real. Amelia and Robert, united in their determination to protect Lily, found themselves drawn closer together, their shared adversity rekindling the love and trust that had been eroded by their recent struggles. As Lily navigated the complexities of her new life, she found an unexpected ally in Mrs. Peterson, the housekeeper. Mrs. Peterson, a kind and compassionate woman with a warm smile and a gentle touch, saw through Lily's rebellious facade, recognizing the pain and confusion beneath the surface. She took Lily under her wing, offering her a listening ear, a shoulder to cry on, and a safe space to express her emotions. She shared stories of her own childhood, her own struggles and triumphs, offering Lily a sense of perspective and understanding. She also taught Lily about the practicalities of life in the mansion, the unspoken rules and expectations, the delicate balance between privilege and responsibility. She helped Lily navigate the social complexities, the etiquette of dinner parties, the art of conversation with the wealthy and influential. Lily, who had never had a mother figure in her life, found in Mrs. Peterson a source of comfort and guidance. She confided in her, sharing her fears and anxieties, her longing for her old life, her struggles to fit into this new world. Mrs. Peterson, in turn, offered Lily unconditional love and support. She encouraged her to embrace her unique identity, to find her own voice, to use her talents and experiences to make a difference in the world. Their bond deepened, transcending the traditional boundaries between employer and employee. They became friends, confidants, a surrogate mother and daughter, their relationship a beacon of warmth and understanding in the midst of the turmoil. Lily also found solace in her art. She continued to draw, her sketches now reflecting her complex emotions, her struggles with identity and belonging, her observations of the world around her. Her art became her outlet, her refuge, a way to process her experiences and express her inner world. She set up a studio in the mansion's attic, a space filled with canvases, paints, and charcoal sticks. She spent hours there, lost in her creative process, her brushstrokes capturing the nuances of her emotions, the complexities of her new reality. Her art caught the attention of Amelia, who, despite her own struggles, recognized Lily's talent and encouraged her to pursue it. She arranged for Lily to take art classes with renowned instructors, exposing her to different techniques and styles. Lily thrived in this creative environment, her talent blossoming under the guidance of her mentors. She began to experiment with different mediums, exploring the possibilities of color, texture, and form. Her art became bolder, more expressive, reflecting her growing confidence and self-awareness. She also began to exhibit her work, her paintings and drawings displayed in local galleries and art shows. Her unique perspective, her raw honesty, and her undeniable talent resonated with audiences, her art becoming a voice for the voiceless, a reflection of the human experience in all its complexity. Through her art, Lily found a way to connect with others, to bridge the gap between her old life and her new one. She used her art to raise awareness about social issues, to inspire empathy and understanding, to spark conversations and catalyze change. Her art became her legacy, a testament to her resilience, her creativity, and her unwavering belief in the power of human connection. As Lily's 18th birthday approached, Amelia and Robert decided to throw a grand celebration, a coming-of-age party to mark her transition to adulthood. They invited Lily's friends, teachers, and a select group of influential people from their social circle. They wanted to celebrate her achievements, her resilience, her transformation from a street urchin to a confident young woman with a bright future ahead of her. The party was held in the mansion's sprawling gardens, transformed into a fairy tale wonderland with twinkling lights, cascading flowers, and a live orchestra playing enchanting melodies. Lily, dressed in a stunning gown, felt like a princess in a fairy tale, a world away from the grime and poverty of her childhood. Amelia, beaming with pride, gave a heartfelt speech, praising Lily's intelligence, compassion, and artistic talent. She spoke of their unique bond, the challenges they had overcome, the love that had blossomed between them. Robert, his voice thick with emotion, also expressed his pride and affection for Lily. He spoke of her resilience, her determination, her unwavering spirit. He acknowledged the mistakes he had made, the challenges they had faced as a family, and his hopes for their future together. Lily, touched by their words, responded with a speech of her own, expressing her gratitude for their love and support. She spoke of her journey, her struggles, her triumphs. She spoke of her dreams for the future, her desire to use her art and her voice to make a difference in the world. The guests, moved by the heartfelt speeches and the palpable love within the family, applauded enthusiastically. Lily, surrounded by her loved ones, felt a sense of belonging, a sense of purpose, a sense of hope for the future. However, the festive atmosphere was shattered when a group of uninvited guests arrived. They were reporters, photographers, and videographers, alerted to the event by the man from Amelia's past, seeking to exploit the situation and exact his revenge. They barged into the party, cameras flashing, microphones thrust in Lily's and Amelia's faces. They bombarded them with questions, their tone accusatory, their intentions malicious. They questioned Amelia's past, insinuated an inappropriate relationship between Lily and Robert, and painted Lily as a manipulative opportunist. Lily, overwhelmed by the sudden intrusion and the barrage of accusations, felt her world crumble around her. The joy and celebration evaporated, replaced by fear, confusion, and a deep sense of betrayal. Amelia, terrified of the consequences, tried to shield Lily from the media frenzy. She pleaded with the reporters to leave, but they were relentless, their hunger for a sensational story outweighing any sense of decency or respect. Robert, his anger simmering, confronted the reporters, demanding they leave his property. But they were undeterred, their cameras capturing every moment of the unfolding drama. The party descended into chaos, the guests scattering, the music silenced, the festive decorations now mocking the somber mood. Lily, feeling exposed and vulnerable, fled the scene, seeking refuge in the solitude of her art studio. Amelia and Robert, their faces etched with worry, searched for Lily, their hearts heavy with the knowledge that their past had come back to haunt them, threatening to destroy their newfound happiness. Lily, alone in her studio, her emotions raw, channeled her frustration and anger into her art. She grabbed a canvas and began to paint, her brushstrokes furious, her colors vibrant, her emotions pouring onto the canvas. She painted her pain, her confusion, her anger at the world that had once again intruded on her life. She painted her love for Amelia and Robert, her gratitude for their support, her fear of losing them. As she painted, she found a sense of release, a catharsis that calmed her troubled spirit. She realized that her art was not just a reflection of her emotions. It was a source of strength, a way to process her experiences and find meaning in the chaos. When Amelia and Robert finally found her, they were awestruck by the painting she had created. It was a masterpiece, a raw and honest portrayal of her inner turmoil, her resilience, her unwavering spirit. They embraced her, their tears mingling with the paint on her cheeks. They apologized for the pain they had caused, the secrets they had kept, the intrusion of the media. They assured her that their love for her was unwavering, that they would protect her from the world's harsh realities. Lily, her heart filled with love and gratitude, returned their embrace. She realized that despite the challenges, she had found a family, a home, a place where she belonged. The media frenzy surrounding the party eventually subsided, but the incident left a lasting impact on Lily and her family. They had been thrust into the public eye, their lives dissected and scrutinized, their motives questioned. Lily, though shaken by the experience, emerged stronger and more determined. She realized that her story, though twisted and sensationalized by the media, had the potential to inspire others. She decided to use her platform to advocate for change, to speak out against injustice, and to promote understanding and compassion. She gave interviews, sharing her experiences and her perspective on the challenges faced by homeless youth. She spoke at schools and community events, inspiring young people to overcome adversity and pursue their dreams. She became a voice for the voiceless, a champion for those who had been marginalized and forgotten. Amelia and Robert, though initially hesitant, supported Lily's decision to speak out. They used their influence and resources to amplify her voice, connecting her with journalists, activists, and policymakers. They also continued to support her education and artistic development, providing her with the resources and opportunities she needed to thrive. They encouraged her to pursue her passion for social justice, to use her art to raise awareness and to inspire change. Together, they formed a formidable partnership, their combined efforts amplifying their impact on the community. Robert's financial resources and influence, coupled with Lily's passion and grassroots connections, allowed them to tackle issues from multiple angles. They funded scholarships for underprivileged students, supported community art programs, and lobbied for policies that addressed the root causes of poverty and inequality. Their activism brought them into contact with a diverse network of individuals and organizations, from social workers and educators to artists and entrepreneurs. They fostered collaborations, built bridges between different communities, and created a sense of shared purpose. Their efforts were not without challenges. They faced opposition from those who resisted change, who clung to their prejudices and privileges. They encountered setbacks and disappointments, moments when the enormity of the problems they were tackling seemed overwhelming. But they persevered, fueled by their shared belief in the power of human connection and the possibility of a better world. They drew strength from each other, their bond deepening with every challenge they faced, every victory they achieved. They also worked to resolve the lingering issues within their own family. Amelia and Robert sought counseling, working through their insecurities and resentments, rebuilding the foundation of their marriage. Lily, with the help of Mrs. Peterson, continued to navigate the complexities of her new life, finding a balance between her old and new identities, her street smarts and her newfound privilege. They learned to communicate openly and honestly, to support each other's dreams, to forgive each other's flaws. They became a true family, bound by love, respect, and a shared commitment to making a difference in the world. As Lily approached her college graduation, she found herself at a crossroads. She had excelled in her studies, earning a degree in fine arts with a minor in social justice. She had established herself as a talented artist, her work exhibited in galleries and museums across the country. She had also become a respected advocate for social change, her voice heard in the halls of power and the streets of her community. But she felt a pull in two different directions. On one hand, she yearned to pursue her artistic passion, to dedicate herself to creating beauty and expressing her unique vision. On the other hand, she felt a deep sense of responsibility to use her platform to advocate for others, to fight for justice and equality, to make a tangible difference in the world. She sought Amelia and Robert's advice, sharing her conflicting desires and seeking their wisdom. They, having witnessed her growth and development over the years, understood her dilemma. They encouraged her to follow her heart, to pursue both her artistic and her advocacy passions, to find a way to integrate them into a fulfilling and impactful life. Inspired by their words, Lily decided to pursue a dual path. She continued to create art, her work reflecting her social consciousness and her commitment to justice. She also enrolled in a graduate program in social work, her studies focusing on child welfare and community development. She envisioned a future where she could use her art to raise awareness about social issues, to inspire empathy and understanding, to spark conversations and catalyze change. She also saw herself working directly with communities, empowering individuals, and advocating for policies that promoted social justice and equality. This new direction brought new challenges and opportunities. Lily had to balance her artistic pursuits with her academic studies and her community involvement. She had to learn to navigate the complex world of social work, to understand the systemic barriers that perpetuated poverty and inequality, to develop the skills and knowledge necessary to effect meaningful change. She also had to confront her own limitations, her own biases and privileges. She had to learn to listen to the voices of those she sought to serve, to understand their experiences and perspectives, to build relationships based on trust and mutual respect. Amelia and Robert, though aging, remained a constant source of support and guidance. They encouraged her to pursue her dreams, to challenge herself, to never give up on her vision for a better world. They also provided her with the resources and connections she needed to succeed, opening doors that would have otherwise remained closed. Lily's relationship with Mrs. Peterson also continued to flourish. Mrs. Peterson, now retired from her housekeeping duties, remained a close confidant and advisor, offering Lily wisdom and support as she navigated the challenges of her new path. Lily's art continued to evolve, reflecting her growing understanding of the world and her commitment to social justice. She used her art to tell stories, to give voice to the marginalized, to challenge the status quo. Her work was exhibited in galleries and museums, her voice reaching a wider audience, her impact growing with each passing year. Lily, once a lost and lonely girl on the streets, had blossomed into a confident and compassionate young woman. She had overcome adversity, embraced her identity, and found her purpose in life. She had become an artist, an advocate, a leader, a beacon of hope. She reflected on her journey, the twists and turns that had led her to this point. She marveled at the resilience of the human spirit, her own included. She had faced challenges that would have broken many, yet she had emerged stronger, more determined, more compassionate. She recognized the pivotal role that Amelia, Robert, and Mrs. Peterson had played in her life. They had not only given her a home and a family, but had also nurtured her talents, guided her development, and instilled in her a belief in her own potential. She also acknowledged the importance of her own agency, her own choices, her own determination. She had not been a passive recipient of others' kindness. She had actively shaped her own destiny, seizing opportunities, overcoming obstacles, and pursuing her dreams with unwavering passion. She reflected on the lessons she had learned, the values she had embraced. She had learned the importance of compassion, the power of empathy, the transformative potential of human connection. She had learned to appreciate the beauty in diversity, the strength in vulnerability, the resilience of the human spirit. She had also learned the importance of giving back, of using her privilege to advocate for others, to inspire hope, to create a more just and equitable world. She understood that her journey was not just about her own personal growth and fulfillment. It was about contributing to something larger than herself, about making a positive impact on the world. She thought of the little girl she once was, the girl with the soulful eyes and the charcoal drawings. She saw in that girl a spark of resilience, a glimmer of hope, a seed of potential. She realized that she had never truly lost that girl. She had simply grown, evolved, embraced her full potential. She was proud of the woman she had become, the woman who had found her voice, her purpose, her place in the world. She was an artist, an advocate, a leader, a beacon of hope, and she was just getting started. Lily's story is a testament to the enduring power of love, the resilience of the human spirit, and the transformative potential of human connection. It reminds us that even in the darkest of times, there is always hope, that even the most unlikely encounters can lead to profound change. It is a story that celebrates the beauty in diversity, the strength in vulnerability, and the importance of embracing our true identity. It reminds us that we are all interconnected, that our actions have ripple effects, and that we have the power to create a better world for ourselves and for future generations. Lily's story is a call to action, an invitation to embrace our shared humanity, to extend a helping hand to those in need, and to believe in the possibility of a brighter future. It is a story that inspires us to dream big, to act with compassion, and to never give up on ourselves or on the world. It is a story that challenges us to confront our own biases, to question our assumptions, and to work towards a society where everyone feels safe, valued, and respected. It reminds us that we all have a role to play in creating a more just and equitable world, regardless of our background or social status. Lily's story is a story of hope, a story of transformation, a story of the enduring power of the human spirit. It is a story that reminds us that even a little beggar can make a difference, that even a billionaire can find redemption, and that together, we can create a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive. It is a story that celebrates the beauty in diversity, the strength in vulnerability, and the resilience of the human spirit. It is a story that inspires us to believe in the possibility of a better world, a world where kindness, compassion, and justice prevail.